And welcome to another edition of Columbus United FC Soccer Talk. And I hope that you are all having a great day. We've got two special guests for you today as the team's been on the road for a little bit. They got one final home game, and I'm going to bring on the general manager of Columbus United FC, Miss Eleni Hitchcock. How have you been?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing great. I know we had that home stretch, and then the team went on the road, and all of a sudden they went on a winning streak, winning 2 on the road. Now, the game that was supposed to be yesterday against Southern Soccer Academy got moved to July the 2nd. I'm guessing that was because of a heat index because, man, it had to have been at least 100 degrees outside.
Oh, yes, that heat was going to be rough. It was between heat and their facility had some issues with plumbing, so we wanted to make sure the players came first with the heat and the safety of the guys.
Absolutely. And as the general manager, you're pretty much down there right on the field, making sure all those promotions get done and the autograph alley. But we haven't had a stretch where we had a whole lot of home games this week. The team has been on the road against Montgomery United and Tennessee SC, both wins. I'm guessing there were watch parties in town, and how were they?
Yeah, our watch parties, they've been great. We do all of our watch parties at Daisy Park at Highside Market. So you get a chance to go inside, you can shop, you can get some good tamales, grab a cold drink, and hang out outside. The kids are always kicking a ball around. They have a giant chess set. So it's just overall, it's a fun place to be able to have the parties. And you get kids from 4 years old up to people in their 60s coming and watching. So they're a lot of fun.
Well, that is awesome. This team has taken the city by storm, and they're currently in 5th place, actually tied for 4th in the South Central Division. We're going to have Coach Brett Teach on in just a bit, but I'm here with the general manager of Columbus United FC, Miss Eleni Hitchcock, and right now the team, 2-game win streak. They're 4-3-2, and the team is get this, they've won 3 games on the road. That has been impressive. What has impressed you most about Columbus United as we get ready to close out the regular season in the South Central Division?
Yeah, you've seen the guys have created a great bond and connection on and off the field. So it's been great to see them, you physically have seen the switch, and the guys, it's now a work of art more than playing the game. And so I've loved watching every second of the guys play. I always go back and rewatch the broadcast the next day because I don't get to, especially if it's a home game, get to watch the entire game. So it's I love watching it just as much as I love watching Arsenal. So it's been really fun to watch.
Absolutely. And you talk about that close bond between the teammates, a mixture of local players here in Columbus and international players. It seems like the team is always in the community. They gel well together. But talk about that bond off the pitch, out in the community. What are some of the things that the team has done to build camaraderie?
Yeah, you've seen, Teach has created an amazing culture off the field. He did the same thing with our club last year and on and off the field. And so you're seeing guys that would have never met each other, if this team wasn't a thing, and guys that grew up playing together. So it's been fun to watch, just seeing them work together through, trainings and game days. But then you mentioned the community events. They're out there, different groups of guys every week, but going to the Boys and Girls Clubs. And we're going to be at other summer camps, this weekend or this week and early next week. And just being able to get the guys to get together, and they're doing something that's not exactly soccer related. So they're going to the Boys and Girls Club. They may be playing foosball, video games, basketball, anything in between. And the guys are having just as much fun as the kids are, which has been really fun to watch.
Well, we have one more home match on July the 5th against Montgomery United FC. One of the things I look forward to about going to A.J. McClung and seeing these home matches is the promotional deals. One night it's Ted Lasso night. The other night is military night. But do talk about what the upcoming promotional is going to be for this upcoming match against Montgomery United on July the 5th.
Yeah, July 5th game is going to be all about fan appreciation. The night's presented by Houston Clinic. So it'll be, our largest crowd of the year. It's going to be a really fun night. First 500 fans get a free t-shirt. So it'll be a really fun night just to celebrate our fans and everything they've done to get us to this point, to help our boys on the field, help the guys off the field, and to create just a fun club culture, because we couldn't be what we are without them.
And I tell you, and it's exciting because it is 4th of July weekend. There should be a lot of people in town, and I think that having the final home match on the day after 4th of July, we should expect a lot of fans out there, and I cannot wait. You do have a regular season game. It's not your fans travel well. Obviously, this upcoming Saturday, it's the Peanuts and Cola Derby Part 2. It's the second leg of that against Dothan United, which surprisingly, Dothan United is in second place in the South Central Division. And that match at home that you lost 1-0, Columbus United played a man down. So Columbus United knows that they could take this on the road. Talk about that upcoming matchup with Dothan United. And is there going to be a caravan of United fans that are going to make that trip down to Dothan?
Yeah, it's going to be a really exciting one. And like you said, that's one of the games, too, that's going to be the easiest to travel, one of the few. And so I've heard a bunch of fans are planning on going. This trip I'm planning on going as well. I'm very excited. And, on the field, like you said, we were a man down that last game. We had a chance to tie or win it. And seeing the team that we've had in the last few games, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind we're gonna have a really competitive and fun match to watch.
4 games remaining, including Dothan United this Saturday, and then Southern Soccer Academy on July the 2nd. That's going to be a makeup game. One final home game, Fan Appreciation Day, and then closing out the regular season on July the 9th against Apotheos FC up at Silverbacks Park. And then the regular season will conclude. I mean, what's the playoff format looking like in the South Central Division? Right now, Columbus United tied for 4th. If they keep winning, it's a foregone conclusion they're going to make the playoffs. But is there an opportunity that Columbus United FC could host a playoff game?
There's always an opportunity. I think, having some really competitive teams in our division, especially looking at Asheville, it's going to be hard for us to, make it through to the playoffs and then most likely to host a game. But if we're in the playoffs and we aren't hosting, we're going to have the largest watch party anyone has ever seen. So we'll have a good time either way.
Oh, absolutely. I cannot wait. It seems like the team is peaking at the right point of the season, and they're just going to continue to grow. I mean, Carter Berg, you talk about a hat trick. Dennis Hayes. Brino Zanola, what he has done at the keeper position. I know that we're going to have Coach Teach on in just a bit, but I know that I'm excited about the team. I know the fans are excited. And I know your first year as a general manager, this has just got to be exciting times for you. And definitely looking forward to having you back on and closing out the season. And hopefully we can make a deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah, we're having such a fun time. It's been, a dream year for a general manager, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're in and out of meetings, and I know that a lot of organization is going into these games, and I know you got a lot of preparation. But thank you so much once again for taking time out of your schedule.
Of course, thank you.
All right, that's the general manager of Columbus United FC, Eleni Hitchcock. We're going to go and take a break. When we come back, we're going to have the manager of Columbus United FC. It's Coach Brett Teach right here in Columbus United FC Soccer Talk on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
Welcome back to Columbus United FC Soccer Talk. And joining me on the show is the coach, Coach Brett Teach. Man, I'm telling you, you guys are road warriors. Congratulations. 2 wins in a row, both on the road. How is the team feeling as you got one more road match, actually 2 more before the next home game?
Yeah, I think everybody's excited about the result up in Tennessee. That was obviously that was our season opener where we tied 1-1. We scored a late goal to tie it, and we had a second goal disallowed. And so we kind of felt unfinished business. Tennessee's very good. They're one of the teams tied with us. They actually, I think, moved ahead of us last night for points. Now they, unfortunately for them, have to play Asheville twice in the last 3 games. So they've got a tough road in, but they're kind of like us in the playoff hunt as well. And kind of on that where we need some help, both of us, to get in. But they are a very good team. They had a good win down at Legion last night. And so to get that result coming after the Montgomery result on Wednesday, we're really pleased. It's been a really difficult and challenging run. The game Saturday was our 6th in 17 days. Nobody else in our league does that. It's just us. And then last night we were supposed to play again, but due to the heat and some water conditions, we ended up not having to play the game, and we had to move it till next week, which sets us up nice for the showdown in Dothan, which will be obviously a huge game for both teams. They're very good. They're on a good streak right now of some good results back to back to back. So, it should be a great game on Saturday night.
Well, the team is currently in 4th place, tied with Birmingham Legion FC 2, with 4 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws. What's impressive is 4 of those wins are on the road. Coach, I know that you had the 2 road matches last week, defeated Montgomery United and then Tennessee SC. Just talk about just what was going into getting that. And then how about Carter Burke getting a hat trick? He's leading the team with 6 goals. I mean, the team is not only playing with a lot of confidence, but they're playing great at the right time.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that has really helped is we've had some really timely players come up with big moments at big times. Like against Montgomery, for instance, we came out very sluggishly. They were playing for their season, which, if they lost that game, they were mathematically eliminated from reaching the postseason. And they played very well early on. They had 3 great chances in the first 20 minutes of the game, and they had a penalty kick. Breno saved a breakaway, and then Breno saved a pair of shots back to back that could have all been in the back of the net. Now it's a different game, and we found a goal in that game, and then Gianca Di Castillo came on late and scored a second goal for us. And then the game against Tennessee was kind of unfolding in the same manner. Early on, they were putting a lot of pressure on us because, again, they are playing for playoff opportunities because they are one of the top teams in the league. And we kind of scored a goal against, I wouldn't say totally against the run of play, but it was certainly Tennessee came out a little ahead early on. And we had a ball played in behind by Dennis Hayes, and Carter went 25, 30 yards with it and tucked it away. Very, very well done. And then we had a really nice little run of about 15, 20 minutes where we just kept grinding away, getting at him, and we got a penalty kick off of a quick throw in, and Carter drew the penalty and scored the penalty. And so at halftime we went in 2-0, and we were just talking about, look, the 3rd goal will decide the game. If we score it, then for all likely purposes, it's over. We may stretch it to 4 or 5. If they score it, then quite frankly, it's going to be a dogfight to the end. And fortunately, we scored it early on. Carter jumped on a loose ball not more than 25 yards out of our box, and he ran 70 yards with the ball and beat a bunch of guys and tucked it away very well. He just, Carter, there's a reason Carter has scored so many goals in his career. He's a big moment player. He scored a lot of great goals. I remember when we first took him last year, his coach told me, he said, we have other guys who've scored as much, but we've never had a guy who scored bigger goals in bigger moments. And that's kind of what Carter was last year for us. We had, he was our 3rd leading scorer last year, but every goal he scored basically decided a game. And this year it's been the same. He finds a way, scored the first goal against Tennessee back in that 85th, 86th minute to tie it in our season opener. He picked us up a little bit in this last game and kind of put us on his shoulders a little bit. And that's just, there's a reason he's been All-American a couple of times. There's a reason that he's so well respected. He works super hard but he wants those big moments in games. He craves those moments. And so, he's a pleasure to work with. Like, he just is, because again, he works so hard for the team, and it's not really about him. It's always about what can you do to help the team win. Some days it's scoring goals. Some days it's creating goals. Some days it's defending hard. And I've got a lot of admiration for Carter. He's earned my respect the last 2 years as much as anybody.
So the team on the road, I want to correct myself. They have actually scored a point in every road match. They are 2-0-1 on the road because they tied Birmingham back in May. But this impressive home stretch, this road stretch that you've had, you're supposed to play a game yesterday. It got moved to July the 2nd. So your next game is not going to be too far from here. You're going to travel down to Dothan to take on your rival, Dothan United, who right now is currently in second place. Now, you talked about how great they have played the last couple of matches. How important is it to go down there and avenge that loss that was suffered on May the 24th when you were playing with 10 men and you had your chances to at least tie the game, but Dothan did have that one goal. But now you get to face Dothan United this Saturday, hopefully with 11 men. And I know this is a big match. Well, I'm saying this is a very big match, Coach. I know that we have not seen what Columbus United looks like with 11 men taking on Dothan United. I think that this team is something to prove at full strength. Would you agree, Coach?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, the first game was a very good game. We were, a couple moments away from honestly winning the game. I remember talking to the coaching staff of Dothan after the game, and they were very impressed with our guys. I mean, they didn't score until the 87th minute. We played down a man for the better part of 55 minutes in that game because we got a player sent off just before it was like 5 minutes before halftime. And we played with a lot of courage and heart and desire, and we created better chances than they did, quite frankly, in the second half. But the mark of a good team is they withstand those moments, and then they find a way because we had very few letdowns in that game. Our defending was outstanding the whole match, and we had a set piece, one that we had seen them do before. But there's a reason that they've only lost a couple of games all year, and that's because they execute when it matters. They are a very well coached, well organized, talented group of players. I'm impressed with them, quite frankly. I think that I think the way the league has kind of played itself this year is you have a group of you have Asheville, who, quite frankly, is a little bit above everybody. Then you have, kind of us, Dothan, Legion, and Tennessee, all kind of in that same realm where any of us could on a day get Asheville, and we can certainly beat each other in a day, but we could lose everybody on the same day. And then you have that next tier groups that have honestly just had a bit of bad luck. You look at Montgomery and SSA and Apotheos, they're a few breaks away from being right where we are, right where Tennessee is. So the league itself, top to bottom, is very competitive. There isn't a night off. And that's what makes the wins that Dothan has put together really impressive, because, they did lose early on to Montgomery in the opener, but, their only loss since then was at Asheville in a 1-0 loss. And Asheville's very, very good. They're difficult to play against. They've got a lot of quality players. So I think for us, it's about us doing what we do well, executing under pressure. I think we're excited about playing in front of a big crowd. They draw very well at Dothan. And I think so. It's really it's like I told the guys in the meeting this morning, look, this is why we're all here. These types of games. I reminded guys who were here last year, Hickory, we played in front of like 4,500 last year. And I would imagine this game's a big game. It's the biggest game in the league this weekend. And I would imagine that Dothan will pack their place, and I'm sure we'll travel well because we've got a lot of very loyal fans. And, and hopefully we will, it'll just be a great match, and this area of the country will get to see two teams that do things the right way really go at each other. And I think it'll come down to a moment here or there, and which team executes in a moment, which keeper can come up with a big save, which defender can make a huge play, which forward can find a yard of space. Because I don't think there's a lot between the two teams talent-wise. I think we're built differently, and I think we both can hurt each other in different ways. But these are the kind of games that, the reason I've done this the last 39 years. I love these kind of games where lots on the line, really good players who train hard, who do it the right way, organizations that support their teams the right way. And this is kind of what this league is all about. And that's what games like Saturday night mean to me. It's just so much fun to it's like tonight we played Asheville at our place. There are two organizations that do things the right way, and we played extremely well. We just were on the wrong side of the result, but I couldn't have been more proud of how we played. And I would expect to come out feeling the same way against Dothan, and we'll just see if we can take advantage of the moments that we have. And it's all about managing momentum in those games, right? It's about playing next play. When momentum's on our side, you find a way to capture it. When it slips away and the other team has it, you find a way to survive it. And whenever you play a really good team, they're going to have those moments. You're going to have those moments. So now, which team does a better job of managing those moments? And I think we've both been very difficult to score on. We both have quality in the back. We have quality guys up front, and we have guys in midfield that are tireless workers that move the ball well. So I think it'll just come down to which team executes better in the moments. And obviously I have a lot of confidence in my team. We'll play anybody anytime. We've gone through the toughest stretch in our league, playing all the top teams in the stretch, and including Dothan, including Asheville, including Tennessee, including Legion. We've certainly proven ourselves as worthy adversaries for everybody.
There's a huge matchup in the South Central Division between the second-place team, Dothan, and the fourth-place team, United FC. So after that, we've got 3 more matches. So next week, we got the makeup game against Southern Soccer Academy. That's going to be on the road in Marietta. And then back home on July the 5th against Montgomery United FC. It's Fan Appreciation Night at A.J. McClung. It's going to be an opportunity for the fans to pack A.J. McClung and just appreciate what Columbus United FC's done this season, closing out the regular season on July the 9th at Silverbacks Park against Apotheos FC. And I know, Coach, that you're probably trying to just get your team motivated to get up for these games. You mentioned that the first part of your schedule was the toughest part of your schedule, but getting wins in these games will be valuable when it comes to the standings. Right now in 4th, you have a chance to leapfrog some teams, which would really set up well for the playoffs. Is the team thinking about that, or trying to get these wins in the regular season and then focusing on the spot in the playoffs will come later? Like, what's the team's mindset trying to close out this regular season?
One of the difficulties in the USL too is only 2 teams make the playoffs, so the top 2 get in.
Wow.
So it's like last year was the top 6, this year's top 2. So basically, our job is that honestly, the night that we lost control of our own destiny was the night we lost to Legion. Had we tied or won that game, then we could have played our way into second place. Now we need a little bit of help. We need to win Saturday night. Well, we need to win every point that we can. And that's been kind of our rally cry since we started this streak back with Apotheos and Legion back-to-back in East Atlanta, Asheville, Montgomery, and Tennessee, was that right now we can't control anything outside of what we do. So we need to amass as many points as we can. Right now, Dothan and Asheville are the only 2 teams that control their own destiny. All the rest of us would need help. If Dothan were to win out, then they're going to be the 2nd seed. If we were to win out and Dothan only lost to us, we probably couldn't catch them because they would have enough points. Now, they could tie some games, things like that. But, so we need help. But like I say to the guys all the time, look, we got to control the controllables. And right now what we can control is our energy, our effort, and our preparation for Dothan. Once we see where that result takes us, if we get 3 points there, Now we have to do the same thing again on Wednesday night. Now the July 5th game is a non-point game for the league because it's a kind of a game that was set there for the Athens game. So that one won't really affect the standings per se because Montgomery's kind of out of it already, right? They're not somebody like, yeah, obviously if we don't win there, then obviously there could be an issue, but that game won't really affect us. So what we need to just take care of the points that we can amass, get as many points as we can in our last few games, and then just see where things end up. Like I said, the Legion game, not winning or tying, took the actual control out of our hands. Now, we could have regained it by beating Asheville. Had we beaten them, that would have put it back in our control again. So, but I say Legion because I think Legion was a game we were up a goal in the 86th minute, and they were able to reverse the score on us. And so, no, I just think it's a matter of us doing everything we can. So we concentrate on, and this would be even if we controlled our own destiny, what we will always concentrate on is our performance. Because when we do things correctly, when we make the right decisions, when we have the right frame of mind, when we have the right health state, then we control all the things that we can control. And it's about playing moment to moment, play by play, and really, and I hate to use coach speak, but it's absolutely the truth. You have to play every play because you don't know which one's going to decide the game, right? You don't know. Like the ball that we scored, the first goal against Tennessee the other night, you would have never guessed because it was a fairly not dangerous looking pass from Dennis because he underhit a little bit, but it just somehow evaded the defender. And Carter, because he does everything right, ran hard onto the ball, beat the defender to it, and then broke away. And you just don't know which moment's going to decide the game. And I think that's the real key. That's why you try to play them all and you try to win as many as you can. And Dothan's really like that because they are a team that is very good at winning key moments. If I could say there was one thing I was really, really impressed with them is that, they clear balls off the line when they need it. They defend hard. They find that moment that they need to win, and they win those. At our place, they found a moment in a game that, quite frankly, I think they would tell you they didn't really probably feel like they deserved to win that game. I think worst case should have been a tie for us. But they found a way in a moment, right? They found a way in a moment. And that's what very good teams do. And that's what we have done really the last 2 years. We've found a way to get results, like you said, on the road or against good teams. And I think this will be a big challenge. But again, our guys have all played in big games in their colleges and in their clubs prior to that. They understand what is at stake. They understand the concentration levels needed. And, I would expect us to perform very well, and we'll see what happens. I'm really proud of this group, as you can tell, because we face a lot of adversity with the schedule, with the injury situations that we've had, and it's just next guy up. We lose Valentin, and Dakota steps in and has done very, very well. We lose Evans, and Andy moves into the role, does very, very well. We lose Andy, was probably our best player in the first half of the season. Andy hasn't played in 5 games. And yet, he didn't play against Asheville. We performed very well. We beat Montgomery. We beat Tennessee. Both good teams on the road. And Andy has been one of our better players all year, Andy Melendez. And so this team has just found a way. And I have unbelievable faith in this group of kids because they play for each other. They play hard. They have a good time. They're positive. They're driven. They're motivated. And as a coach, that's all you can ever ask for because, again, they're talented. The talent is through the selection process, but the character is built through what they each bring to the program. And I've been really, really impressed with that, with our group.
Well, good luck the rest of the way, Coach. We are pulling for you guys to win out, and I'm going to be scoreboard watching. I'm looking at the schedule in the USL too. I mean, we've got some pretty good matchups. I mean, we've got Asheville City. They're going to be taking on Tennessee SC. Those, I think they're going to cancel each other out. And you also have Dothan United having to take on East Atlanta FC twice. Birmingham Legion FC2 has to take on Tennessee SC. So it's going to be interesting down the stretch to see what happens. But I know that there's still a chance that you guys could sneak into the playoffs. And good luck the rest of the way. And safe travels down to Dothan, and we'll be watching back here in Columbus.
Thank you, sir. And again, as always, thanks for all the coverage. We love talking to you guys and love sharing the stories of our guys. And I'm really proud of this organization and the job that JD, Hitch, Eleni, Paxton do every day. It's it's an honor to be here and be a part of it. So thanks for everything.
Absolutely, Coach. That's the head coach of Columbus United FC, Coach Brett Teach. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Columbus United FC Soccer Talk. We'll see you next week, and let's go United as we try to close out the rest of the season. Have a great night, everybody, here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.